is Father Ken Lau, and welcome to the new episode of Nuggets for the Soul. People sometimes would give Mass cards as a gift to people, maybe for their birthday or anniversary. And sometimes other people would not truly value those Mass cards. And they really think that it's not valuable. But we need to remember that when a Mass is being offered to you, they're offering in that Mass, we're offering up Jesus as a perfect sacrifice to God. Okay? And because of the perfect sacrifice of Jesus, our intentions are being heard by God. So it's really very powerful. And I would like to share with you something that I've read that is very inspiring. It's entitled The Weight of One Holy Mass. So the following true story was related to Sister Mary Veronica Murphy by an elderly nun who heard it from the lips of the late Reverend Father Stanislaus. One day, many years ago, in a little town in Luxembourg, a captain of the forest guards was in deep conversation with a butcher. When an elderly woman entered the shop, the butcher broke off the conversation to ask the old woman what she wanted. She had come to beg for a little meat but had no money. The captain was amused at the conversation which ensued between the poor woman and the butcher. Only a little meat? But how much are you going to give me? The lady replied, I'm sorry I have no money, but I'll hear Mass for you. Both the butcher and the captain were very good men, but very indifferent about religion. So they at once began to scoff at the old woman's answer. All right then, said the butcher, you go out and hear Mass for me, and when you come back, I'll give you as much meat as the Mass is worth. The woman left the shop and returned later. She approached the counter, and the butcher, seeing her, said, all right then, we'll see. He took a slip of paper and wrote on it, I heard a Mass for you. He then placed the paper on the scale and a tiny bone on the other side, but the paper was showing as being heavier than the bone. Next, he placed a piece of meat instead of the bone, but still the paper proved heavier. Both men were beginning to feel ashamed of their mockery, but continued their game. A large piece of meat was placed on the scales, but still the little piece held its own. The butcher, exasperated, examined the scales, but found they were all right. What do you want, my good woman? Must I give you a whole leg of mutton? At this, he placed the leg of mutton on the balance, but the paper outweighed the meat. A larger piece of meat was put on, but again the weight remained on the side of the paper. This so impressed the butcher that he was converted and promised to give the woman her daily ration of meat. As for the captain, he left the shop a changed man, an ardent lover of daily Holy Mass. Two of his sons became priests, one a Jesuit and the other a Father of the Sacred Heart. Father Stanislaus finished by saying, I am the religious of the Sacred Heart, and the captain was my father. From that incident, the captain became a daily Mass goer, and his children were trained to follow his example. Later, when his sons became priests, he advised them to offer Holy Mass well every day and never miss the sacrifice through any fault of no fault of their own. So I really hope that, when we go to Mass, we really prepare ourselves and really offer up a Mass as an intention for our loved ones, because truly God hears our prayers through the Mass. God bless. The living saint, Jesus, Mary, Joseph, we trust in you.